Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a first time quail prep. And this is a first for me as I had never made quail and I certainly had never eaten it before. I got the quail in a local supermarket. It was frozen, called KJ's, and it came in a red and white box. There was 4 quail per box. I had looked at different recipes of how to make it, and I settled on a marinade for quail, which used garlic, soy, and some honey. Now, I also was eyeing up the pomegranate one too, but I decided to go with what I had on hand. The only thing I needed to actually buy separately was garlic paste. The prep was pretty easy. The marinate was very easy to make. I just want to say that I didn't realize how small these birds actually are until they were cooked. And then I realized after eating that I was still hungry. Anywho, I hope you liked the video. Um, let's get cooking. Alrighty, so far in here, I have 2 tablespoons of honey. Next, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now it does say to use 2 garlic cloves crushed. I'm going to make it a little easier for myself. That was an interesting experience. It almost flew out of the jar. Anywho, so it says about 2 garlic cloves crushed. I'm going to be using, I want to say, about 2 tablespoons of minced cloves. And I'm just going to use the fork to do this. Put into the measuring cup. There we go. I didn't know that darn jar was going to really be a devil, and God, literally fly right up out of the darn jar. There was some on my finger. Now it's on the back of my camera. Okay, so next I'm going to be grating 2 teaspoons finely grated fresh ginger. And there's my ginger root. Ronnie and I got in the habit of adding fresh ginger to soups and seafood. I actually did. So it said 2 teaspoons. Alrighty, I can sort of do this by eye. I'm going to be using this side. Alrighty, so guys, I just wanted to show you genuinely how tiny a little quail is. I am actually astonished at how tiny this little bird is. And I actually feel bad now. Going to eat it. But yeah, that's what one little quail looks like. So I'm going to be placing them inside this plastic container. And I'm going to be brushing on them the glaze that I made. Using a teaspoon, I'm going to just be spooning this glaze. Alrighty, I had to put a different battery in my camera again, and This one I think is going to die in a few minutes too. So as I said in the previous clip, I'm going to be coating Cornish hens with this marinade. And I'm going to cover them up. And they're going to be sitting in my refrigerator for about 3 hours. Do I have going on here? Well, I microwaved 2 bags of Success jasmine rice in the microwave, 15 minutes each bag. So there's 2 bags in there. I like that this has that little lock, and this is good. Over here, I got the quails, and I can actually smell the ginger and the garlic. I have them basically baking in here at 400 for 25 minutes. That's the suggested temperature on the box. And supposed to bake them until the skin gets a little crispy. So they're small. That comes out to like 6¼ minutes for each quail. So it's already been in about 10 minutes, I want to say. Yeah, there's Mama. So I got that going on. And then I'm going to open up a can of corn and put that in a bowl in the microwave. My goal today is just not to really dirty a lot of dishes. I'm having issues with my knee, in a lot of pain, and so yeah. Let's see how the quail are coming. Well, they're definitely browning underneath. I guess I'm going to turn them over in a few minutes and check the other side. Yeah. Turn these little guys over. Alright, gonna put them back on for like maybe, oh, I don't know, 7 to 10 more minutes, I guess. So these are going to be coming out of the electric roaster, and I made another batch of the ginger, soy, and garlic marinade, but this time it's going to go over the quail when I set them on rice. So I just made up a second batch of that. I think for future reference I will just maybe double the recipe at the beginning, or maybe even triple it so I have some left to actually pour over the quail prior to eating. So that's a note to self, and actually when I put the recipe in the description box with this video, I think I'm going to suggest to double it or even triple the amount so you have enough to pour over it as soon as you're ready to eat it. So here is a quail with some of the marinade on it, sitting on top of a bed of jasmine Thai rice, and I have some corn. So I'm going to dig into this and see how I like my quail. Alrighty guys, well, my thoughts on that marinade. It is really, really flavorful, and it pairs so nicely with the quail. Originally, I was going to make the orange glaze that I have used with chicken and my Cornish hens. If you remember that video, Cornish hens are amazing with that orange glaze. But this time around, I did want to experiment a little bit and try something different. So definitely, I do say that this marinade is really, really good. When you apply it as the Cornish hens are roasting or baking, it does tend to thicken somewhat on them and turn into a little bit of a glaze. Um, I think that I probably could have done them just as easily in the oven instead of using the electric roaster. I also think because of the size of the birds that possibly 400 would have been a better temperature as compared to 425. I mean, they weren't burnt or anything. I just think that 400 might have been a little bit better temperature. Either way, they were really, really good, and they taste very similar to me anyway, to a Cornish hen. The only problem I had, as I said, was that once they're cooked, there's really not much meat. And I was actually still hungry. Papa was still hungry, and we sort of ate some sloppy Joe after eating the rice and the corn with the quail. Just reason being that there's just not much meat on them. So from here on in, I think of quail as something more fancy, shall we say, and would be very, very nice and elegant for a special occasion. But for regular dinner, and you're super hungry because this was a day that I was actually doing a lot of cleaning around here and the property. Yeah, you're gonna want something a little more substantial than two little tiny quail. But it is a good meal. Just don't really be ravenously hungry. When you eat them, you're going to be a little bit disappointed and not a lot of meat. But they are a flavorful bird. And I am glad that I gave myself that opportunity to try them. Um, some other things I'd like to try down the road, and I find myself feeling weird for saying it, but I might consider trying frog's legs down the road. I know several people told me that they taste like chicken, and I would definitely love to try gator bites. There was a YouTuber I watched one time. Every anniversary, him and his wife go to New Orleans, and it's tradition on their anniversary. They go to this bar restaurant, and they get a big basket of these red hot, spicy hot gator bites with 2 pitchers of beer. And no matter how much beer they drink, they probably wind up drinking about 4 pitchers. Their mouth is on fire. I don't know if I'd go for that super hot, maybe a mild version or slightly hot. But I would like to try them down the road. I've just heard that they're really, really good. Same with frog's legs. Anywho, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. The marinade is listed down below, all the ingredients and the time that I, did use that was recommended for the quail, and also my suggestions to perhaps use the oven instead of like roasting them, as well as doubling or even tripling the marinade recipe so you have extra to put on prior to eating, because it was really, really flavorful with that being poured right on it as soon as you set the quail on the rice. Another thing you could try is making wild rice and pairing that with the quail. I imagine that that is very flavorful too. So guys, please give this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit my subscribe button, please. Don't forget to hit the bell for all so you are notified every time that I do upload a new video. Take care, have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you all on my next one.